My collection, The Great Creating, is absolutely inspired by the idea of finding your thread. Over the past handful of years, there's been this idea that has popped up quite frequently that in order to dismantle the systems of oppression, we must find our thread and start pulling. And if we all start pulling, it will just unravel. And while I absolutely believe that it is the work of some to participate in that dismantling, I also fully believe that it is the responsibility of others to be the creators and the builders. And so not only do we have those who are unraveling, we have those who are responsible for knitting together that new quilt that will uphold the society that we dream is possible. And so my collection, The Great Creating, is all about that new quilt built on community care and systems of support, and a society that truly allows for the thriving of the people. This week, I worked on my latest quilt square for that collection, and I'd love to take you along on the full process. When I first started this video, I thought it would just be like a day in the studio, but the more I thought about it, I really wanted to bring you along on that full process from the very beginning to the finished piece. And I hope that you enjoy it, and I also hope that you learn a little bit more about who I am through that process. If you're new here, hi, I'm Alexis, a full-time artist here in New York City. We have a lot to get through, so let's get started. This year, I have been tired. I don't know what it is, if it's recovery from burnout, the state of the world. Am I depressed? I've moved slowly, and I kept telling myself that winter's for hibernation, so it's okay to take it slow. And I promised myself that by the spring equinox, I'd have my feet back on the ground. I've struggled with how to navigate this deep weariness as a self-employed person whose livelihood rests on the ability to be a self-starter. With the number of projects and ideas and potential avenues for growth I've been pondering over the last several months, it's time to get started. But how do I magically create the energy needed to accomplish this? More rest? More walks? I don't think I need more coffee. I've always been someone who works. You need something done? I get that thing done. I get your thing, and then my thing, and then any other things that have yet to be done. When I taught, I was on my feet 14 hours a day. And then going to the gym for weight training and a few miles of running, followed by a couple of hours of paper when I'd get home from it all. Rinse, repeat, no days off. When one envisions the grind, damn, I was in it. And then the world shut down. And for the first time in my life, I was getting more than 5.5 hours of sleep. I saw my husband every day, and I could sit by the window and experience the weather. When the world screeched to a halt with the lockdown of 2020, there was a deep gratitude for the slowness of the days that I'd never experienced before. And as the world started back up again, my body resisted the rigor that it had once been used to. I mean, it really fought me on it. So much so that there was a stroke event in 2022 that took me out the game. And since then, it's been a slow climb to find my feet again. Winter is a time of rest, a time where things are hidden, a time of death, and this is necessary. Perhaps the problem has been thinking of winter as a season within a calendar year, 3 months, a short respite that is easily timed and very much linear. Because the seasons of our life are anything but. This winter has been nearly that length in years. The idea I keep holding on to is that in order for new life to be brought forth, the old life must pass away. You want new growth on a plant? Prune it. You want a new life? You have to let go of the old. And you have to let go of all of it. You have to enter into a winter so that the spring of the new phase may begin. That's always happening. I'm always overflowing that. But it's like the soil's dry, so it just goes straight through to the bottom. And she's like growing new, but some of it's wilty. And I know you're supposed to like bottom water, but what do you do when it's hanging? Just put a little bit extra in there. So I'm about halfway done with the purple layer and I'm hitting a bit of a wall. So I'm gonna get outside and I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm just gonna get some fresh air. So let's go. This winter in my life has been long-lasting, and there was a lot to let go of. My identity as it was tied to my job, my identity as it was tied to capitalism, and the idea that I had a body that I could relentlessly push to the extreme without consequence. Perhaps that's what winter is all about. The deep slowness so that our body can rest and you may process, so that you can dream and plan. Winter is a time of rest, a time where things are hidden, a time of death. And this is necessary for the new life that comes with spring. Now, I can feel it in my body and I can see it in the world around me, that spring is arriving. It's here, and I'm ready to start again. I'm ready to bring forth the new and to fully embrace this new season in my life. All right, let's get back to it. I don't want to know how hunched over I get. I am a little nervous about having like these always create like 1,000 little pieces. I don't know if you can see them, but they're like my book club starts in about 15 minutes. We read Freedom is a Constant Struggle. I bought this right around the time that it came out because of Ferguson, and then I just got like swept up in other texts as readers do, and also teaching, so I never got around to it. So we decided to read this past month. If you are new to the struggle, this is a really excellent like avenue into the conversations. If you're not new to the struggle, it's just a really good reminder of how everything is connected, and that's something that I keep coming back to, is just like how connected our oppressive systems are, right? And it's just like, it's all related. 10 out of 10, would recommend this. I'm gonna make some tea and then I'm gonna get set up and I'm gonna join my book club, and all in all, I think it's been a pretty solid day. If you ever have anything that you're curious about, please pop a comment down, because I really just want this to be a community where we share ideas and questions and grow together and learn together. And if you have a question about my art process, I'm all ears. Also, I am very much an activist with my art, and I know I haven't shared much of that here on YouTube just yet because I'm new, but what I create, everything that I create, is absolutely through a lens of resistance, whether that's joy as resistance or community as resistance. If you have any questions or if you would like any book recommendations, shoot me a comment. And if you also have any books that you've read that you think I should dive into, I'm all ears, because I'm always looking for recommendations. Another one that we read for my book club that I'll just mention real quickly it's called Slow Violence by Rob Nixon. Let me grab it real fast. It's about environmentalism, and it just talks about how the Western world, the countries that are in power, treat the global South as disposable. And so how we deal with all of our pollution and the impacts of war. I mean, this was just a truly incredible text. I would be happy to do a video about books that kind of have fueled my exploration into the knowledge of oppression, if you will. There's a handful that I found really, really helpful. If that's something you'd like, let me know. I love books. I love reading. I love people. Which is why I am who I am, right? People for the People is definitely rooted in power to the people, and understanding that we are so powerful when we unite together, and there's so much joy and beauty in community. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, let me know. I'm gonna make some, maybe I already said this, I'm gonna make some tea because it's too late for coffee, but I really want something to sip on while we talk. I'm gonna do some lemon ginger in my mug here. This is a mug created by a dear friend of mine on Instagram, Amy Y'all. She also has a YouTube channel that she's just kind of picked back up this year. In 2020, she put in her stories just asking about the shape of the mugs that people would want. And I provided her feedback, and I had no idea that it would result in one of my favorite little mugs. I mean, who doesn't like a rainbow? I like it because it's so large. So you get more tea for your whatever. You get more tea for your bang. Is that what you would say? I don't know. I'm gonna let this steep. I'm gonna get my computer set up, and yeah, I'm gonna get ready for this book club. Oh, our book clubs are on Zoom because the two women that I meet with live in Westchester, which is a suburb of New York. They were a part of another book club and have since broken off into their own, and they asked me to join, which was really nice because I've never been in a book club as an avid reader, which is wild. So I'm gonna get my Zoom set up, and I think that's gonna be it for my day. But we got the purple layer done and all of the things, so here we go. I feel like I'm always running late because I get distracted. Okay. And I think that as people take on positions of power, you still have to remain critical of them. No matter what they represent or the good that they've done, it's we still have to we can be supportive, and we still have to keep our critical lens of is this really moving a mission forward? Is this really bringing us closer to the goals that we've been working towards? Or is it like, do they get into that position and then they're just kind of, you know, a puppet, if you will. And I think about like, so oftentimes there's that, that idea of like, if you are growing movements, they should be growing, not dwindling. And then there's like, I think I've mentioned her before, Adrienne Marie Brown. She wrote that, it's a short book, We Will Not Cancel Us. And it's all about like identifying points of tension within relationships so that you can get to the bottom of what's causing that tension and resolving it before it escalates into something that's irreparable. So it's all about like repair, like restorative justice, right? And transformation within relationships. But I really think that that connected so strongly to what Angela Davis was saying, you know, just like, and I really appreciated how she kept talking about how everything's connected. And that's like something that I just like, I keep coming back to. I'm like, the oppressive systems are all connected. And the reason why community is so powerful is because individualism is a white supremacist tool. The only way to combat that is through community. And we can like support each other, work through the hard things, but like we are, like the people united will never be defeated. Like that, there is a reason why that is like such a powerful saying. It's like, there's so much power when we can come together and work towards a common goal. And that's why like throughout, it's like at the founding of our nation, they started pinning people against each other because they're like, oh, wait a second, we have too many people who are like down and out. So now we're gonna like spread these ideas about the enslaved Africans. We're gonna spread these ideas about the indigenous people, about the Irish people, and we're gonna like pin them against each other because they're getting too powerful when they're starting to have these conversations amongst themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's kind of how we've been founded. And it's like, if we can break through that, there's so much power. It reminded me also, Emma, you said something about like, I don't exactly remember, but Winona LaDuke is an indigenous activist, and it's like the idea of like, oh, not being about the individual, right? And so like what I'm working towards can't be about me, it has to be about us, right? And so like Dr. King, it wasn't just Dr. King, it was a whole movement, and it's like the work is never done. And Angela in this book was talking about how like when I die, like we can't be so short-sighted, right? Like, well, so what? I'm gonna die, and then it doesn't matter anyways. And it's like, no, but it does matter, because we're like pushing the collective in a direction. And Winona LaDuke has this quote about like, if you can accomplish what you want in this lifetime, like if your vision can be achieved in this lifetime, you're dreaming too small. Like the work is never done. And so like, if you have like, oh, if by the time I die, I can do this and we'll be done, then you're thinking too small, you're not dreaming big enough. And I love that. All right, so we are on day 3. The first layer I did was the purple one. That's done. I've got my yellow layer done and the white one. So today we have the last layer, which is going to be this green, and it's the outside border. And we'll see how far we can get. I have a prediction that if I just put in a podcast, I'll be able to knock it out. And then tonight I have a show that I've got some friends who are playing, so I'm gonna put in some earphones and I'm gonna get started. All right, let me get you set up. Also, my desk is always a mess. I always have 1,000 things on it. And that's just part of the creative existence. That's fine. As it's March, the great creating square that I'm creating is for Women's History Month, and proceeds from this print will go to Planned Parenthood. I sit with color choice for a minute, and with this one, through a bit of research, I learned that there are actual colors associated with Women's History Month. The green, purple, and gold are inspired by the suffragette movement, the ribbons and the sashes they'd wear. So, as a nod to the history of women's movements, for this square, I chose those colors, and I think I like how it turned out. Alright, so before I piece this together, I want to take a minute because my hands and my eyes are tired. I got some cookies at the grocery store yesterday. I'm going to make those, and then I'm going to go ahead and just get ready because it is already 5:15 and I gotta leave here probably around 7. So I'm going to get ready and then I'll finish this and then we'll go to the show and I'll get this out. But thanks for spending a few days with me and just spending time with me in my studio. These are definitely a labor of love, and I am thrilled to have another one done. And yeah, I'm just so glad that you're here. So let's make those cookies and I'm gonna get ready and then we'll finish this up and then we'll go see some rock and roll. When I went to the grocery store yesterday, I really wanted some sugar cookies. We used to make sugar cookies like this when I was little and I was feeling a little nostalgic, and then I saw that they had Lisa Frank. How could you say no to that? We'll check it in 12 minutes. When I am working, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, and so there's one, it's like a true crime podcast called Up and Vanished, and I guess I listened to part of it a while ago, but I didn't finish it, and I think it's season 3 is about a missing Indigenous woman, and I don't know, I always really appreciate when that receives media attention. So I've been listening to that, and I also started an audiobook. What is it? The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't know, that's like a title that I kept hearing mentioned, and it's not a book I would typically pick up. I had no idea anything about it before I started it, but turns out that it's like LGBTQ, like a queer-ish, maybe? I don't know. That part just got introduced, but I'm into that. I'm into that twist. So far I think I'm like maybe a third, half of the way through, and I'm enjoying it. And so I'm just gonna get ready here. Since I left teaching, haircuts are expensive. So Mario's been cutting my hair for me, and he typically does a really good job. He does a good job. This last haircut though is a little short. That reminds me of when I had it in high school, and I don't know what to do with her. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. I just put some like holding paste in it. I found it on Amazon. I actually don't know how to put on makeup. Never got any lessons. I make it up. I also don't wear very much. So if you see something and you're like, don't do it like that, I don't really need to know. We have 1 minute until the cookies are done. That's not bad. What was this, like 10 minutes to get ready? All right, so when the cookies come out, I'm gonna take them out, let them cool, and then I'm gonna put that quilt square together, get that done. And then I'm gonna make some food. I have about an hour and a half. I think I can do all of this. We got this, we got it. All right, I'm gonna move you so I can get the oven open, and we'll go from there. That pretty much wraps up our week, and I just really want to thank you for spending your time with me. I know that time is valuable, so if you chose to spend 30 minutes of your day with me, I am truly honored. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful in any way, be sure to like it so that YouTube knows to also send it out to other people. And if you'd like to join me on this journey of building an art life here in Brooklyn, I would be truly honored if you subscribe to the channel. And that way you get notifications as new videos are published. I'm hoping to do about 1 a week, so you have that to look forward to. And if there's anything that you would like to know about my process or any of the pieces that I've created, let me know in the comments and maybe I can share some of that in future videos. But as we wrap up our time together this week, I just want to say thank you for being here and Whatever time of day you've watched this, I hope it's been a kind one. Until next time.